Tuesday, May 14th, Salzburg. If a spy master in Dayton or Jean Le Carre sends you to have a look at a man in Salzburg, chances are the man will be found in Salzburg. Real-life spy masters are not as reliable as this. Charles Adderley is not in Salzburg. As far as I've been able to learn in 2 days, he's never been here, and isn't expected here. In fact, no one has ever heard of him. Salzburg, however, is very cute and full of old-world charm, and the locals tell me again and again, "Your friend is probably waiting for you in München." They make it sound as if Munich is packed solid with American friends that have been mislaid in Salzburg, and one of them is bound to be mine. I may as well have a look. Thursday, May 16th, Munich. I haven't been able to turn a trace of Adderley here, and I'm beginning to feel rather stupid. I didn't come to Europe prepared to play detective, and I haven't got a single in anywhere. I did manage to find a friendly librarian with a computer, and she gave the problem half an hour, but you can't be very inventive when all you're drawing is a blank. What do you do after you've checked all the newspaper files back to the beer hall putsch? Ask the concierge, I suppose. The concierge knows everything. But what do you do after the concierge gives you a vacant stare? I suppose I should call and confer with Father Loufra, but this isn't an idea that appeals to me. To this point, I've been behaving rather compulsively, though that may not be quite the word I'm after. I've been acting as though I could find Charles Adderley by dint of sheer unremitting determination. This strategy certainly hasn't worked, and pursuing it has left me feeling ridiculous and inept. The following are facts. I wasn't given a deadline, no special urgency attaches to my mission, and I have no idea what to do next. Therefore, I might as well relax and go with the flow for a while. Adieu. An invitation. I went for a walk. I'm not in truth an adventurous traveler. As I say, I went for a walk in the vicinity of my hotel and looked in shop windows. I paused here and there to study a menu in a restaurant window, as if I knew what any of it meant. There went an hour, frittered away like a carefree vagabond. I slunk back into my hotel and hung around the desk in the absurd hope that someone would tell me a message had come during my absence. Finally, hopelessly, I slunk into the bar, sat down at a table, and ordered a beer. After a few minutes, the barman brought over a bowl full of salted peanuts and said the gentleman at the bar wondered if I was an American, and if so, would I object to his joining me. The gentleman at the bar was a spare, bright-eyed person in his 60s, European, from the cut of his elderly but very respectable suit. I wondered why he would want to join me if I was an American, but presumably not if I wasn't, but gave him a nod and a welcoming smile, and he brought his drink over, introduced himself with Teutonic formality, and sat down. I was ready for some sympathy and suggestions, and Herr Reichmann didn't have to pull out my fingernails to get me to talk about my quest for a man named Charles Adderley, though of course not a syllable of the word Antichrist passed over my lips. I had long since invented a flimsy but apparently adequate cover story to explain my interest. I am a freelance writer investigating a man said to be leading a new religious movement. A new religious movement? Herr Reichmann inquired with amused incredulity. You know, we Europeans are not so gullible as you Americans, with your angels and your magic crystals. Exactly so, I replied smoothly. That's just why Adderley seems so significant. We made polite small talk for a few minutes, then Reichmann paused and gazed thoughtfully into a distant corner of the room. I can put you in the way of someone far more significant than this Adderley, he said, and possibly a member of a circle will be able to advise you. I'd be most grateful for that, I told him earnestly. He wrote down a name on a beer coaster and handed it to me, saying, Der Bau, 9 this evening. The concierge will be able to give you directions. He stood up and began to walk away, then suddenly turned about face and bowed. Make him give you a map, he said. A few minutes later, I obediently carried the coaster to the concierge and demanded directions and a map. He thought the map unnecessary, but grudgingly produced one when I insisted. I asked him what a bow is. A bow is a tunnel, he said. Then, after a moment's thought, no, I'm mistaken. A bow is like is like an underground hidden hiding place. A catacomb? No, an animal's hiding place. A burrow? That's it. A burrow.